Hello everyone. Problem solving in mechanics is thought to be very difficult task, especially those problems which involves the resolution of a vector into its constituent components. So today we will discuss some problems related to the motion of a roller on inclined plane by using free body diagrams. I am sure that if you attend this lecture carefully, every concept regarding the motion of the objects on inclined plane will be clear to you. So let us start. And now to start with, I have a inclined plane which is on the top have a glass surface so that it will have a minimum friction, and I have a roller which we will place over this glass surface to roll, and of course I have a pan to put the weights on it. So these two things are attached with a string which will pass over this pulley. So it has a very little friction, but we will assume that it will rotate without friction. Also I have a spring balance to measure the weights of these bodies. So also I have some pan weights which we will use in the pans. Spring balance, so it's nearly 30, and our roller is, so it is at 400 grams. So it is 400 grams. So now I will place this roller over the inclined plane through this pulley, placing some weights in the pan. So this is a 100-gram weight, $20, so it's 120 in the pan. So the roller is moving downwards. So when I leave the roller, it readily moves downwards. So I just put a 10-gram weight in the pan. So it is nearly balanced. Okay. Now you may observe that this inclined plane has a angular displacement of so you can see that here is the 0-degree angle and 10-degree angle, 20 and 30. So our inclined plane is at 30-degree angle inclined to the horizontal. Now we will try to show all these things with the help of some arrows which will show the components of weight and the motion of this roller. Now I am showing here this red arrow as the weight of this roller, which will act downwards directly perpendicular to the horizontal surface, and the normal reaction which is given to this roller by this inclined surface. Mind it that the normal reaction is always perpendicular to the surface on which the body is placed. Now we will resolve this weight into its components and examine that which component of weight is responsible for the motion of the roller. Mind here that towards this pulley, along this thread, there is a tension in the string. Likewise, the weight of the pan is directed downwards towards the horizontal surface, and there is a tension in this string which is acting towards the pulley. Remember always that tension in the string is always towards the tied end, the end through which the weights are tied. Tied means they are towards the pulley always. So tension in this string is upwards, while in this string is towards the pulley. So both tensions will be towards the pulley. Now we will resolve this weight into its rectangular components. Now we have resolved this weight into two mutually perpendicular components. One which is here, we have resolved this weight into two mutually perpendicular components, W1 along the motion of the roller downwards and W2 which will balance the normal action. So if this roller move downwards, then W1 component will be responsible for its motion, and W2 and normal action, they will keep this roller in equilibrium. Here we have shown the tension T in the string. Now if this roller move downwards, then W1 will be responsible for its motion. But if this cylinder move upwards due to the weight in the pan, so tension T will be responsible for its upward motion. So if tension T is greater than W1, it will drag the cylinder up inclined plane. But if W1 component is greater than tension, then it will move downwards. So this is the main concept behind the motion of these bodies. So the weight, the component of weight will move it downwards, but the tension in the string will move it upwards. So this we have to consider in every problem like this. Now see, if it is moving upwards, that means the external force which is described by the Newton's second law of motion, that is MA. MA will be the subtraction of T minus W1. So then the cylinder will move upwards. But if it moves downwards, then W1 component will exceed the tension, and its external force which will be given to this roller by the component of weight, so W, that will be equal to W1 minus T. So we will calculate first W1 and W2. So let us see how W1 and W2 will be calculated using vector algebra. Now let us discuss that how to calculate W1 and W2. First thing we should know that the angle here of the inclined plane is 30 degree. We have kept it at 30 degree with the horizontal. Now see the components. The weight is perpendicular to the horizontal surface. So weight is perpendicular to the horizontal surface, but W2 is perpendicular to this inclined surface. One thing you should keep in your mind, that whatever is the angle between two lines. So here we have 30 degree angle between the horizontal line and this inclined line. So we have 30 degree angle here. In this problem, we will find the perpendiculars to these surfaces. First we will find the perpendicular to this horizontal surface. The perpendicular is its weight component. Weight component is perpendicular to the horizontal surface, and W2 is the perpendicular on this inclined surface. So therefore, if the angle between these surfaces, inclined and horizontal, is 30 degree, then we will have same angle between their perpendiculars, perpendicular of this horizontal surface and perpendicular of this inclined surface. That is, we will get theta equal to 30 degree between W2 and mg. Now if W2 is the component of weight which is adjacent to the angle, so then its value will be mg cos theta. Likewise, the W1 will be mg sin theta because it is the far component. So in this way we can calculate the values of these components. So mg cos theta, which is W2, is balanced by the normal action, and W1, which is mg sin theta, it is balanced by tension. Balanced by tension only if this roller is stationary, but if the roller is moving downwards, then W1 exceeds tension, then MA will be W1 minus T. But if this roller is moving upwards, then tension exceeds W1. Therefore, tension minus W1 will give its mass into acceleration. So this is how we will form the equations of the motion of this roller. Likewise, here in the case of pan, when this roller moves downwards, the pan moves upwards. So the upward motion of this pan gives its acceleration. So its mass into acceleration will be the tension minus the weight of the pan. But if the pan moves downwards, then its motion will be given by its weight minus tension in the string. Now let us try to understand this problem. We have here the horizontal plane, and the inclined plane was 30 degree raised from horizontal. Our roller was here, and it was tied to a string through this pulley. So here was our pan in which the weights are placed. So let us try to make the weight downwards. So let this one is M1G. We are considering the weight of the roller as M1G, and the normal action will be, as I have told you earlier, that it will be perpendicular to the inclined surface. So this is the normal. And breaking the weight into its components, one component W1, which will responsible for its downward motion, and the second one is W2, which will balance the normal action. Now as this angle is 30 between the horizontal line and inclined line, we will find the perpendiculars to both of these lines. So thereby this angle is also 30 degree. So therefore W2 is M1G cos 30 and will be M1G sin 30 degree. Now, as we have discussed earlier, that a tension T will be towards the pulley, and here also the tension T will be towards the pulley, the weight of the pan will act downward. Let it be m2g. Now we will consider two cases. One is when this roller is moving downwards, that is, its motion is downwards, the external force is downwards, so m1a will be downwards. Our point of concern here is to find the acceleration of this roller. So now let us try to write the equations of motion of this roller when it is acting downwards. So if the roller moves downwards, this pan will move upwards. So writing the equation of the roller, W1 will be more than the tension. So that will be the cause of its downward motion. So W1 minus tension. Tension is also a force, weight is also a force. If the weight force, W1 force exceeds tension force, the result of difference between W1 and T will determine M1A. So W1 minus T will be M1 times A. And this pan will move upwards, so thereby giving it a external force which will be written as M2 times A upwards. So this pan will move upwards if roller moves downwards. So why it will move upwards? Because tension in this string will exceed the weight of the pan. So the difference of tension and weight of the pan will give M2A. So this is the method of writing the equations of motion in these type of problems. Okay, now we can easily calculate acceleration by adding these two equations. So if we add these two equations, the tension T will cancel each other. So we will get W1 minus M2G will be equal to M1A plus M2A. Now acceleration can be taken out from the brackets and W1 minus M2G on the left side. So therefore the acceleration can be written as W1 minus M2G divided by M1 plus M2. Here we can put the value of W1 as we have calculated here. So here I have mistakenly write here W2, so this was W1 because it is the sine component M1G sine 30 degree. So M1G sine 30 degrees minus M2G upon M1 plus M2. So if we put the values of the weights which we have measured in the demonstration problem, we know that this roller was, the mass of the roller was 400 grams and we have so 30 grams of pan plus we have put 120 grams, so it will be equal to 150 grams in our pan. So we can calculate M1 is our 400, G we can take for easiness 10 meter per second square, our sine 30 is 1 by 2 minus M2G, M2 is 150 and G is again 10 meter per second square divided by M1 plus M2, which will be 400 plus 150 grams. So solving these terms, you can easily get the value for acceleration. So this will give you the acceleration of this roller as well as the acceleration of the span which is moving upwards. Now you can also find the tension in the strings. So how can you do that? So what you get here as a acceleration, you can put this acceleration in these one of these two equations. So you can easily get tension. Also, we will discuss some pulleys problem here also. That we have a pulley here and two masses are attached to this pulley. Suppose one is 10 kilogram and other is 6 kilograms. Question usually comes that find the acceleration and the tension in the string when these masses are released. So as this is the heavier one, so it will move downwards and this will move upwards. So therefore its mass into acceleration will be downwards. Why? Because its weight, suppose this is m2, or you can directly write the values. So 10 times g is greater than tension here, so that will give 10 times a, means the what we will call ma. So the Newton's, according to Newton's second law of motion, the force, external force which is given to this mass. And here the mass into acceleration is upwards, so that will be given by tension minus 6 into 10. So actually this mass is moving upwards because tension is greater than the weight of the block. And here this block is moving downwards because weight is greater than the tension. So this will move, the pulley will move like this, the acceleration is like this. So how we will calculate these? So let this block, we should call it M2, and let this one be M1. So here is M1A and here is M2A. So writing the equations of motion of this block, so it will be M2A. How much this M2A will be? It will be M2G minus tension. So later on we can put the values over here, and the equation for this, M1A is upwards, so therefore M1A can be written as, because it is moving upwards, why it is moving upwards? Because tension is greater than its weight. So tension minus M1G. M1G is our 6 into 10. Okay, so solving these two equations, we will add these. So tension will cancel with each other. So here acceleration is common, M2 plus M1, and it is equal to M2G minus M1G. So acceleration can be calculated as M2 minus M1G out of the brackets and divided by M1 plus M2. So you can put the values of M1 and M2. M2 is our 10 kilogram, 10 minus 6 kilogram, acceleration due to gravity, let us take 10 meter per second square, divided by 10 plus 6 is 16. So it will be 40 over 16 meter per second square. You can simplify it by yourself. So knowing the value of acceleration, you can put the value of acceleration in one of these two equations to get the tension in the string. So this is the method to solve such type of numerical problems which usually came in exams. So I hope that these type of questions, to which most of the students find these difficult and they just become reluctant to even touch these numericals, but if you learn by this method which I have taught you, so it will become very easy to handle such problems. So thank you very much for attending today's lecture. Have a nice day.